Hello everyone, I'm H2Acon from Online Knights, and this is Mass Effect Factions, the series where we break down the various races and groups from the Mass Effect trilogy, obviously with some spoilers. We split each episode into 4 sections: history, anatomy, military, and culture. You're watching episode 15, and today we'll be covering the Volus Protectorate. To start with, history, the backstory of the Volus up until the start of the games. The Volus hail from Irune, a planet with highly unusual atmospheric conditions. Having adapted to live in such an uncommon environment, there were few planets which the Volus could easily colonize, and so their rate of expansion after achieving spaceflight was therefore very slow. Despite Irune being situated so close to Asari Solarian territories, it took until 416 BCE before the Volus made contact, the first race to encounter these two after they had formed their joint council on the Citadel. The Volus began peacefully dealing and trading with the Council. However, faced with this alliance of these two far more powerful species, the Volus were always on the back foot in negotiations. Over the next few centuries, the galactic community grew, as first contact was made with other species such as the Quarians and Batarians. The galactic economy boomed with all these new trade partners, but instability threatened to cause a crash, until the Council passed the Unified Banking Act, which introduced the credit as a standard galactic currency. This act had been drafted by Volus bankers, and given its subsequent success, the Council granted the Volus an embassy on the Citadel in 200 BCE to reward them for their services. They were the first species to be granted such an embassy, and although this didn't make them a member of the Council, it made it far easier for the Volus to lobby them to change galactic laws. In the centuries which followed, the conflicts of the Rachni Wars and the Krogan rebellions made the Volus realize just how small they were compared with the more powerful factions in the galaxy. For greater security, the Volus petitioned the Turian newcomers for client state status, exchanging their sovereignty for Turian military protection. The Turians accepted, and the Volus became their protectorate, a special relationship which lasts until this day. The Volus remain a minor power in galactic politics, mostly relying on the Turians to negotiate on their behalf. But with such a strong ally protecting them, and their considerable economic power, the Volus are not to be taken lightly. Secondly, anatomy, a description of Volus physiology. Volus are small humanoids, but with unique biology due to the extreme conditions of their homeworld. Irune has 4 times the mass of Earth, and so its gravity is significantly stronger. This, coupled with the lower surface temperature and 60 times the atmospheric pressure of Earth, allows Irune to support an ammonia-based atmosphere instead of the usual nitrogen-oxygen mixture. Volus therefore have to use special breathing equipment when on the planets of other species, as oxygen is indeed poisonous to them. Additionally, they also have to wear their distinctive pressurized suits, since their bodies will rupture when exposed to air pressures most species would consider normal. Volus biochemistry, like all life on Irune, is ammonia-based, instead of carbon, like all the other races in Mass Effect. Thirdly, military, an assessment of the Volus' strength. Being so small, the Volus are physically outmatched by virtually every other race in the games, and are therefore forced to avoid direct combat. They make up for their physical disadvantages on the battlefield through use of advanced equipment and the deployment of surprisingly powerful biotic troops. Additionally, the Volus have a moderately sized navy, made up mostly of bombing frigates, but also including one particularly powerful dreadnought. In general though, the Volus rely on the Turians for protection, an immensely powerful ally which is sworn to defend them if they are attacked. In exchange, the Volus support the Turians in their wars, supplying auxiliary forces and air cover for the mostly ground-based Turians. The Volus military is small, but thanks to their alliance with the Turians and the heavy economic sanctions which they are able to threaten, few would consider tangling with them. Finally, culture, a description of Volus society. Volus civilization on Irune developed around trade, with cities springing up along the trade routes which the tribes used to exchange goods, land, and even tribe members. As a cultural hangover of their tribal origins, Volus will refer to other species by their place of origin, calling humans Earth Clan, for example. Due to the discomfort of having to wear their suits on other planets, the Volus tend to keep to their own worlds, making them an uncommon sight in most parts of the galaxy. Volus society today is still dominated by commerce, with most Volus working as merchants, traders, or bankers. They have earned themselves a well-deserved reputation for having an affinity for finance, and for their size, the Volus is a very prosperous nation. Their size is limited by the number of worlds which they can safely inhabit, and so their expansion is often reliant on negotiating for ownership of suitable planets within the territory of neighbouring species. This forces the Volus to remain on good terms with everyone, and so their pacifistic foreign policies coupled with their innate physical weaknesses, cause many to look down on the Volus as cowardly. The Volus are content to let them think this, however, as they quietly continue to make their fortunes. So, that's the Volus. Please bear in mind that this isn't a definitive summary, but we hope that you've enjoyed the video and learned something new regardless. Please like, comment any suggestions and subscribe for more. I've been H2Acon from Online Knights, and I'll see you next time.